Today, we're going to talk about self-acceptance. And what is the relationship between self-acceptance and perfectionism? Well, this is perfectionism, and this is where self-acceptance is. It's complete opposites. And we're talking about the toxic, unhealthy perfectionism. Huh? If you belong to this mindset, then definitely you're not practicing self-acceptance. Self-acceptance says, I am enough. Perfectionist says, whatever you do, you will never be enough. Right? Do you see the connection? Or the complete opposite connection, right? So, first of all, why is it so hard for us to practice self acceptance? There's a big misunderstanding here, right? So, in case you don't know me, my name is Vasis Sarandopoulou. I'm a psychologist. I'm an expert in perfectionism. I have been a perfectionist myself, and I know the difference between the toxic and the not toxic, the healthy perfectionism. And that's why I am helping you go to the healthy side. As I say many times, once a perfectionist, always a perfectionist, but let's bring it to the healthy side. Let's make it more sustainable. Let's start growing, but at the same time, without forgetting how to live our life and how to experience more growth in our life in a healthy way without crushing, without burning out, without alienating from the environment around us and from our relationships. So, why is it so hard that we are practicing self acceptance? There's a misunderstanding, as I said, which is we think that self acceptance means compromising, giving up. Like, okay, what do you want me to accept that I am, defective, that I am who I am, accept my flaws, accept my weaknesses, and just give up? Okay. This is what we think that self acceptance is, just giving up. I know that there's something wrong with me. Let's sit back and do nothing about it. However, that's not the case. Also, self acceptance doesn't mean self confidence or self esteem. These are completely different concepts. Self acceptance, it means that I am accepting my flaws, but I am seeing them. I'm not denying them. I'm not invalidating myself for having these weaknesses, for having needs, for going through negative experiences in my life, from carrying traumas and wounds. I'm embracing all of this. This is what self acceptance means. So, the first and most important reason why we're not practicing self acceptance, as I said, is because we don't know what it is and we don't know how to practice it. We don't know what it looks like. And then I'm going a little bit deeper. Why is it so difficult for us to practice it? Why we don't know how to practice self acceptance? Because we haven't felt accepted. We were raised in an environment or by people that didn't make us feel that we are accepted as we are. I met a person a couple of months ago, and he told me that I never experienced being seen and accepted as I am from my father, and I always had to do the extra mile, something extra, in order to be seen by him, just to be seen by him, that eventually I created a fake persona. I created a person who I am not. So I could see myself being two different people, one with him and one when I was with people that accepted me. But then as I was growing, the first one increased even more, and the second, the real, got hidden even more. So that is what the lack of self acceptance is. I've never been accepted as I am, as the person that I am. And eventually, I started adapting to that lack of acceptance. I started abandoning my needs, my feelings. I started creating another persona, another fake facade for other people. I started listening more to what other people needed from me, and I became what they needed instead of becoming what I need. So that looks like the lack of self acceptance. And if you haven't experienced self acceptance before, that's why it's difficult to practice that now. You don't know what it is. How can I be something that I don't even know what it looks like? Lack of self acceptance also feels like shame. I'm ashamed of who I am. I don't allow myself to be the authentic, true self that I want to be. And that shame also originates sometimes from trauma. If somebody has been through trauma in their life, that affects the way they see themselves. They see themselves as somebody who made a mistake, who was responsible for something. And for that reason, they need to be punished for that, and they need to carry that shame, that mistake for the rest of their lives. So feeling guilty about past events or carrying this trauma can be the reason why self-acceptance is hard. How can I accept myself when I'm always blaming myself for what I've done in the past? These two are canceling each other. There is also a strong connection between self-acceptance, as we said, with trauma, but also with depression and anxiety. All this ruminating over our past mistakes, as we said before, all this negativity, all this shame that we're carrying, of course, it makes us suppress our feelings. It makes us feel worthless. And it doesn't allow us to go after our dreams, our hopes, our goals. We always question ourselves, second guess ourselves. And that keeps us always under the radar, hidden, doubting about ourselves. And here it goes with a lot of negative thoughts and negative feelings. Then if I want to start practicing self-acceptance, then how does it look like? Well, as we said before, it looks like accepting yourself, right? Even when you make mistakes. And how do I differentiate accepting the mistakes and then doing them again, or accepting the mistakes and learning from them? Well, that's it. You're viewing yourself as somebody who is no better or no worse than anyone else around us. I'm not better than you if you make a mistake. I am the same with you. I'm making mistakes all the time. But then viewing yourself in this context that everybody makes mistakes, everybody's feeling ashamed, but then we're also working on being our authentic self. That's what we're doing. Learning from our mistakes as well. Learning to deal with these mistakes, not with criticism, not with attack, not with punishment, not with humiliation, not with blame, but learning to see the mistakes and learn from them, forgive ourselves, and then do better in the future if we can, right? So that's what we're doing in self acceptance. You're feeling that you are a good friend of yours. That's why self acceptance also feels like a lot of self love. You can see the resemblance there. So, self acceptance is not being perfect, not at all. It's not about feeling confident all the time and knowing what to do and not feeling ashamed. No, we are embracing all of this, all the vulnerability and weakness that we're feeling. And also at the same time, we abandon self hate, we abandon self loathing. When you feel like, oh, I hate myself because I cried in front of my best friend, or I hate myself because I said this silly thing in the work meeting. This self-hate, we are not doing that anymore. We're not practicing that anymore. That's what self-acceptance looks like. We are leaving that behind us. We are trying to be more honest with ourselves. And by being honest, it doesn't mean that we're just bombarding other people with vulnerability. It doesn't mean that we're going out there and sharing our personal stories to everybody. No, vulnerability comes with boundaries. We are being authentic and honest to the people that we think is important. We are being vulnerable to the people that we know that are going to be there caring and supporting to us. So of course we need these boundaries, but we are abandoning feeling ashamed of our vulnerabilities and weaknesses. We are also practicing more acceptance to our feelings and our needs. Sometimes we don't even ask help from other people because we don't know what we need. So just being more silent, listening to what we need, to what we're feeling, that's already huge, a huge step. Just to pause for a moment and listen what it is that I need. Because I haven't been listening to my needs and my feelings for a long time because I was, of course, focusing on other people. But let me pause and think what it is that I need, what it is that I feel. Yeah, I'm feeling something uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm feeling something, a negative feeling, as we say, and that's okay. Let me listen to that feeling so that I can know what it is that I have to give to myself for that. So, what it is that we can do, third part, if we want to start practicing more self acceptance. Let me start with something relatively easy. Start journaling, just writing statements and affirmations such as I am enough. There's nothing wrong with my feelings. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. I can make mistakes and still be successful and competent. I don't need to completely cancel myself. Start writing these things. Maybe they will feel awkward. That's your perfectionist talking. When you write them and you read them, like, oh, so it's easy. Yeah, that's your perfectionist talking. So start with this and see how you can talk to yourself in a different way now, in a more accepting way. Another thing that you can do, practice gratitude. Gratitude not for only for the things that you get every day and you experience every day, but also gratitude for you being here every day. I am grateful for being healthy today. I'm grateful for me having the awareness about my feelings, about my needs. Just be grateful for what you put in the world every day. You could be less giving and less accepting, but then you're choosing acceptance. You're taking a risk. I'm grateful for taking this risk today. Even though it was scary, I did it. So start practicing gratitude. And cultivating, of course, healthy relationships with other people, it helps a lot. Well, that was it for now. How to practice self acceptance. I hope it was useful. I hope it was something that you can take with you. Also, try to understand why you're blocking yourself from practicing self acceptance. That helps a million times. And I'm here for your questions. Let me know your thoughts, your questions, your experience around self acceptance. Remember, ask your questions to practice how to go from the toxic and healthy perfectionism to the healthy one. So, looking forward to hearing from you more and continue this very interesting conversation. Thank you very much. Take good care of yourself.